Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I can't wait for this Easy Talk, man. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one. We've got the chairman of the board in the house. That's starting the is that the Canal 4 TV merch? Is it? I don't know, man.
You see the hat, you see the hat. Yes, sir. We here. Know what time it is? Got to be
Got brother,
special to have one of these. You know what I
I
mean?
hear that, man. I hear that. And then we've got brother Isaac. Brother Isaac's in the house. It's been a long time since he's been on the channel. And we've got a newbie. But you know what? We're not going to do the intro on the newbie just yet. We're going to get into this Easy Talk, the Hot 100, on the other side of this music intro. Yes. Welcome back to Canon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. The Friday, man. The Friday means it's the Easy Talk. The Easy Talk. Easy Talk. It ain't going to be an Easy Talk tonight, man. It's going to be a fiery one tonight. But anyhow, we're here present. We've got a newbie. We're going to get into the newbie just in a second. Guys, if you're watching now, make sure that you do subscribe and share the content. Brother Isaac, what's happening, man? Where you been? You've been hiding, man. Brother Isaac.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I'm making my comeback now. I've been sidelined flowing. It was a knee injury. I'm hoping that everyone is doing good. Happy to see you all. I can't wait to get into his Easy Talk. It's been a while, but it has been a while, but enjoyable because we've been winning, and that is what makes every fan happy. Nobody is happier than an Arsenal fan today.
Yeah, I can see Mube's got a bit of a grin on his face. Yeah, bro. Chairman of the board, what's happening, man?
Hey, it's Arsenal winning. You know, that's what time it is. You know, Arsenal winning, man. Life is good, man. We here. You know, always happy to be on the show. Be back with the family. I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
You know, our job and everything always get mixed up on the Easy Talk, but you know we get on here when we can and spit nothing but fire, man. And Alex been coming at me. I've been in the live chats when he be on the shows, but I can't really say much because he skip over my messages and don't read them. So now he can't stop me. I'm on the show now. I got my drink, I got the Hennessy with me, and let's get it. We're ready to go.
And you know what? We've got someone to bring the balance to the force for the first time. Tony, what's up, man? What's up?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Alex. Good to see you guys. I'm chomping at the bit to lend my views and opinions on, in the words of the great late Mills Lane.
Yeah.
For those who are fan, and also known as the pugilist.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, it's a pleasure to have each and every one of you back on the channel. And Mube Guna, much respect, man. A lot of respect, brother. You know what I mean? Like I said, we don't always agree on everything, but respect at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk about. I mean, I've seen Tony sometimes, posting stuff about black people and black excellence. And I thought, looking at this, Bukayo Saka on the front page of Time magazine, talk about black excellence. I tell you what, I am so proud of Bukayo Saka to see what happened at the Euros and where he is now leading. Ah, my goodness. Tony, any thoughts about Bukayo Saka? Time magazine.
I mean, as an Arsenal fan, as a black man, this kid he's just showing black excellence at all levels, as a human being, as somebody who's experienced racism in the UK. you know, it's great to held his head. He's been calm. He's been professional. He's a guiding light to the young kids out there who know, you know, look him into the Highland Academy at a very, very young, tender age, and he's performed all levels. What can I say? So proud of this young man. May it continue.
Yeah. Amen to that. Brother Isaac, any thoughts on Bukayo Saka? Front Time magazine.
I'm really happy for this young lad, and interesting, since he missed that pen, the Euros, he has not missed any pen. He's been taking penalties, and he's doing great. I'm really happy the way he's doing, and at the moment, considering that we are flying high, he has a great future. He just turned 21 years old, and for a 21-year-old and the great things he has accomplished for himself, I can say that he has a bright future. He still has a lot of time to show us what he got. So, considering his young age and what he has accomplished as of now, wow, just respect for him.
Yeah. And finally, Mube, your thoughts on Bukayo Saka, man? Star boy.
Yeah, man, star boy, a little chilly, man. You got to be proud of him. You know what he's been through. You know, just where he's coming from. You know, we've seen him here at Arsenal grow up from a kid and come to be one of our most important part of our team. You know, player in our team right now, and we have seen him growing up right in front of our eyes, and to take on what he take on with the England team. And come back from that, bounce back and doing what he's doing now, man. It's like even if you're a rival fan, you can't hate this kid. You know, he's what Spurs fan thinks Sang Min Young is. You know, like what Song is. Everybody think he's a likable guy, and nobody likes that guy, man. You know, that's what they think he is. But Saka is definitely he's come a long way, and it's the way he's so strong. Like my guy said, he hasn't missed a penalty, and just to be taking them. You know, had the confidence to go up. And remember, he took that one at Chelsea right after it happened. When he came back to play for us, he took that one at Chelsea and won the game. So I'm very proud of him, man.
Yeah.
Star boy.
Yo, Mube, any concerns about why he's not signed a contract? Are you concerned about that, or?
Not Saka. I'm not around really worried about Saka. I think it's just get the numbers right. I'm not really worried about Saka and Martinelli. Saliba probably I'm more worried about him. But at the moment we're just enjoying what's going on right now, man. You have to just be proud of him. The same thing with Marcus Rashford. What he was doing with feeding all them kids and doing all that stuff when that was going on too. I was proud of him too because he but maybe not to the extent that Saka got it, but he got some abuse too, for them Euro miss, same with Jadon Sancho, so you have to be proud of them, man. They just kick it on, and I know they don't play for a club, but you just want to see them come back stronger because like I said, they're young black men, and you just want to see them strong no matter who they play for, and just want to see them keep striving for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Right, first topic of the evening show, William Saliba, Virgil van Dijk. We've done a poll on the channel, and this is how the stats stand at this moment. Is William Saliba a better centre-back, Tony, than Virgil van Dijk? Well, 23% of the votes of subscribers say no, he's not, and 77 are misguided. Your thoughts, Tony?
So, I want to say I have been championing William Saliba the past 3 years. I've watched extensive coverage of him in France. What I would consider to be the realist when I say no, he's not Virgil van Dijk. There is a long way to go before you can establish yourself, because I rate Virgil van Dijk as easily one of the top 3 centre backs in world.
But then what would William Saliba have to do to come anywhere near the level of Virgil van Dijk? Win trophies? What would he have to do to?
No, what Virgil van Dijk is to Liverpool in that is easily number one. He's a leader. vocally, and he's instrumental in play. Distribution, you know, Virgil van Dijk can distribute, backs can do. I think Saliba is, his reading is on point, but that doesn't mean to say he's that job. You know, I've seen him get caught out. You know, it's important, and I don't like to use yesterday's game because it was a very strange circumstance, the way the pitch played.
Yeah.
But there have certainly been occasions been caught, and Gabriella saved his ass. And not to say that doesn't happen to Virgil van Dijk, but I just want to see a amount of play before we can start saying, yeah, he's that guy.
Isaac, for you, where do you see William Saliba compared to, maybe unfairly, to Virgil van Dijk?
Well, when I saw our first topic, I was like, wow, because I've seen it somewhere. I've seen some people also try to say, is William Saliba a Virgil van Dijk or better than Van Dijk? And I was like, let me hold on it. And then I was like, you see, this guy is merely 21 years old, and we've seen the prime of Van Dijk, what he can do. And I was saying in my mind, I want this guy to build his career first, so that we can be able to know what his prime could be, because we've seen what Van Dijk has been in his prime. So at this very moment, for me, it is a little bit early to conclude that he is better than Van Dijk, because he is young, he is not yet in his prime, and considering his young age, he's gonna make mistakes, and he's also gonna improve on his game as he grows up, as he adds to his age. So it is still early for me to say that he is better than Van Dijk. So I'll let him grow and see what he is capable of. Let's say in 24 years, if he's 24 years, and then we could say, yes, he's better than Van Dijk. But I'll just want him to settle in and become better or build on his career. And someone was jokingly saying in some stream I was watching that you all know that Saliba is a PSG player when he turned 24 years. And I was, bro, come on, we need that lad, because we've come a long way without a stable partnership at the center back. We've suffered for a very long time because we've conceded goals in moments that we did not. We were not supposed to concede goals. And I remember sometimes back in this very show, I say that yes, strikers will win you games, but a strong defense will win you leagues.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mube, why do we have 77% of the subscribers saying that Saliba is better than Virgil van Dijk?
I think it's the way that the question was worded. Why you see that kind of, like, it's just like this season. If you ask me if they have, over the 9 games that we played this season, is he better than Van Dijk? He has been. You know, it's just 9 games, but he has been better than Van Dijk. Arsenal have been better than Liverpool over the first 9 games. If that's the question, it's just the way the question, I think the way the question was worded. But overall, no, he's not on Van Dijk level yet. He has to be, and to get there, it's not, trophies are not the issue here. It's just to do it consistently over a period of time. He's just been doing it for 9 games here. He was player of the season in France last year as a defender, young player of the season there. So he has been exposed to top flight football for a few seasons now, and he come to the Premier League. He's doing well. He's playing well. This season, he's been better than Van Dijk, but overall, I mean, Van Dijk is just on another level. We have to be. He's been consistent for a while. Van Dijk been in Liverpool what 3-4 years now, and he's been there. He came in and changed their club along with Alisson and Fabinho. Just fill that spine out properly. So he's the leader of the team. Saliba is still working on that. He's a young player. He still make mistakes. You could say that the second goal that Liverpool scored at the Emirates, you could say he could have did better with that goal. It's just little things in this game that he's going to have to work out. But better than Van Dijk overall, no. Better than Van Dijk this season, yes. Because he has been, I think, the best defender in the Premier League this season. But it's only 9 games. He will make mistakes and it will happen. But just for him to just keep it consistent, if he can do this, keep up this form that he got now over the next 3 years and keep us up there. I'm not saying winning the Premier League, but just help us, to keep challenging for the Premier League, play at a top level, get us in the Champions League. It won't be long before, if you get us in the Champions League this season, we finish top 2 this season, ask me again at the end of the season, I'll tell you yes. That's just a fact. There's no better center back because he's so young and he's playing alongside Gabriel, which is a young center back pairing too. He doesn't have all those players that Virgil and Van Dijk have around him, the Robertson of this world and, Alisson behind him. Liverpool is a complete squad. So he has help. Saliba doesn't have all that help. So if he can keep it up to the end of the season and do this for another 1 or 2, he will surpass him. But right now, Van Dijk is just on another level. Saliba is just doing well this season.
So, Muba, you said literally at the top of the show that you're kind of concerned more about William Saliba and the contract situation.
Yeah. You asking about Saka. I'm not really worried that Saka would leave. I'm more, Saliba we need to get that sorted out. I mean, the more you look at a Saka, for instance, he's more, he's an Arsenal boy, he's a London boy, So if you go to pick one and say you think one is going to stay, it's going to be him. Martin Elliott come out time and time again say he want to be at Arsenal for a very long time. We know all the stuff that went on with Saliba. People were saying Mikel Arteta don't like him. People were saying why they were loaning him out, blah, blah, blah. It's just a lot of stuff that going on around him. So the sooner we can get him tied down, I think the better. It's work out for the best. All those loan spells that he had, we can't say it was the wrong decision because now we have one of the best defenders in the league because of that. So you can't say, Arteta make the wrong decision sending him out. People like to use the what if, what if we had him last season, we would have finished in the top 4. You can't use what ifs. He could have been here and we still probably would finish in the top 4. So you're just glad to have him, and I hope we can get him tied down. I think I'm more worried about him than the other 2, but I think they all will stay. They're a young group going together. Hopefully he can stay and carry on.
Yeah. Tony, I don't know. Is Gabriel the weakest link in the back line? Because he's made some mistakes, hasn't he? Is he the weakest link in the defense? No. Okay. All right. Next question then.
Just simply saying, nah.
What I would say, I wouldn't say there's a weak link. I wouldn't say of the 4 players who've consistently within the back 4, I don't think one of them is considerably less than another. I think Gabriel has his place. He does a great job next to Saliba. The confidence to do what Saliba does. Saliba's helped Gabriel and vice versa. So at this stage, again, as 9 games in, I don't think we can say that, Saliba has suddenly become the alpha dog. I think it's just a case of he's working his way into what he's done extremely well. Well-oiled defensive system right now, because I like to draw your attention to his inverted fullbacks, which is something new for this season, where you see Zinchenko, Ben White playing more closer to Thomas Partey, almost like a 2-3 or a 2-2 situation. That's working for us really well at the moment. So, let's hope that what it's been doing so far.
Can I push you very quickly? You mentioned a midfielder that I know, Mube Guna, is his boy, Thomas Partey. What's your thoughts about Thomas Partey?
So, anybody who knows me and my view on Thomas Partey said this. He is the most important player in our team. Most important players. And this is my view. If you came to know Bukayo Saka and get 150 million or 100 million, take it. If you said to me, go sell Martinelli and take 100 million, I'd be like, if you said to me, come and take Thomas Partey for 100 million, I'm saying, keep your money, man. Player is unsellable. The importance of him to them is more important than any other player on the pitch.
Okay. Muba, you want to say something, don't you? Before I go to Ivan, you want to say something, don't you?
Hey, all facts, bro. All facts. Yeah, I mean, Muba ain't got much to say. Okay, so you got the Hennessy. You know what time it is. Listen.
Thomas Partey right there.
He got the Hennessy. You see what that? Listen, man. I'm telling you, if we can just, he's not the. We wish his injury record was better, and I do agree with Alex. He needs to play more. He does get injured a lot, but even for someone that get injured so much, for him to just come back in the team and then just slide back into midfield and still be one of the best players on the pitch, it's remarkable what he does. He changed our squad so much. When he's not there, you see it. You can fill in for other players, but when he's not there, you see it. It's like night and day, which is why I want to get someone to be there to be able to replace him. El Nene is not that guy. You know, he's not Thomas Partey. We try to use Lakanga there, but he's not that guy. He's not a defensive midfielder, or he doesn't play that deep role as well as we think he does. So he's irreplaceable in this team. Don't get me wrong. Is there other players out there that could do what he do? Yes. You know, do I agree with my guy when he say $100 million you don't sell him? I'm not really. $100 million for Thomas Partey at 29 years old. Yeah, a club decision. If somebody offered that as a club, you don't turn that down. You know, there's more players out there that can do it, but he's one of the top in that position.
Who in world football got money to replace him? Because you ain't crying out that player out of the teams, that kind of player. I'm serious. You just ain't got that kind of player in the English Premier League. I'm talking world football, because they're up the Atletico Madrid, an amazing bit of business. But literally, Real Madrid and find that player. You couldn't go to Barcelona and find that player. You can and find that player. He's a worldly player.
$100 million for a 29-year-old defensive midfielder. I don't care what you say. They're selling them. It's just a club decision for Arsenal football. For me and you as a fan, I'm a fan of Thomas Partey too. I would definitely don't want to sell him, but if we had sold Alex and Sanchez when they wanted him, we would let him go for free. Same thing with Mesut Ozil. You see what I'm saying? If somebody come with $100 million for him at 29, you're not going to get $100 million for him if he's 32. It's just, he's going to probably leave for free again. As a club, we're trying to evolve. Listen, clubs sell players all the time. Great players. We see it with Real Madrid. We see it. There's players out there. We don't know them off top, but there's players out there. Real Madrid just sold Casemiro to Manchester United for $70 million, and we don't even. We would think they would. That midfield three for Real Madrid is one of the best we ever seen. Modric, Casemiro, and Toni Kroos. They're one of the best we ever seen. They took him out and replaced him with somebody else. You don't even hear about him in Madrid no more. He's at Manchester United, and we don't even think he's the same player that he was at Madrid. I'm just saying. Off the top of my head, you can't really just pick a player. You know, Rodri and Fabinho and those players. But for $100 million, You sell it and invest it, you find somebody else. You will, trust me.
You won't. You won't. And I challenge Ashley D, who's telling me I'm drinking, saying, Ashley, put the name of the player in the chat who you buy. As Colin Young says, name one player who can do what Thomas Partey, anyone.
If this is the energy Hennessy is giving you guys, I want some.
So move, mate. Let's, you know, Tony's kind of thrown in that, you know, that element about, you know, he would not sell Thomas Partey for love of money. So for what Mikel Arteta is trying to build at Arsenal, the January transfer window is just around the corner. If they came in with that money, you would sell him in January.
Not January. Not January. Now let me get that. Let me get that. That's what I'm saying. As a club, if we're trying to change what because listen, as a club, we've been poor selling players. We have been poor selling players, moving them on and replacing them. You cannot keep players here forever. No matter how good they are, every player has a price tag. That's what the top clubs do. We see it. We got Sanchez from Barcelona. They replace him. We got Ozil from Real Madrid. They replace him. That's what top clubs do. I know he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I would be mad if we sell Bukayo Saka too. But if somebody comes with $200 million, he can go. It's just the better for the club. I'm just saying, we have seen Arsenal miss out on this. Manchester City came for Alexis Sanchez for $60 million, and we did not sell him. Next thing you know, he's walking away for free, or we got Henrik Mkhitaryan. Okay? Same thing with Ozil. We could have got rid of him and got money. That set us back at least 3-4 years. I'm just saying, it's money that the club. I'm a fan of Thomas Partey. Personally, I want him to stay here forever. But as a club, we have to change this narrative of letting players walk away for nothing. If somebody comes with $100 million, I'm selling them. It's just better for the club. Arsenal Football Club. I'm not saying it will make us better. He's one of the greatest players in our midfield right now. You know, but I'm for $100 million for a 29-year-old. There's no way I'm turning that down. No way.
Mm-hmm. Just to caveat that point as well. He's 29. That's what you originally said. Because we hear Thomas Partey is really 33. Yeah. some of them passports with these players. Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Tony.
He probably is. As much as he's injured, he probably is 33.
Alex, can you send some Hennessy my way, because I can see this Hennessy is doing something. So it is agreeable that Thomas Partey is the most important player in our squad. No dispute about that, because we have struggled in games that he has not featured, and he has come, or he has controlled that midfield in games that he is featured. We agree on that. So he is a great player. Yes, he is the most important in our midfield. True. He's defending. He doesn't struggle to defend. It is like it is in him. It is naturally in him to play the way he plays. He doesn't struggle to make passes, and we have struggled when he's not there. And when we try to replace him with Lokonga, we've tried to replace him with DIJK, and we've all seen how that has panned out. So he is an important player. Yes, everybody has a price tag. Yes. The greatest mistake that we can make is sell him in January. We will struggle throughout the season. Him being fit is a plus for us, and perhaps that is the reason as to why they are trying to manage him, so that, because we know he's injury prone, and we've struggled in games that he's been injured, like the United game. We struggled because he wasn't there to play that midfield. Actually, each and every game we've gone without Thomas Partey, I always have chills. But in that lineup is if Thomas Partey is in the lineup, I have no issues. I have no chills because I'm like, well, we are going to win this battle in the midfield. But if he's not there, I'm saying we've lost it in the midfield.
But isn't Xhaka becoming as important as Thomas Partey, Mube? No?
Going
Tony?
forward, he's important.
Going
forward, but defensively, no.
He's an important player now. I mean, I don't think you over 50 million for Xhaka and he's out the door. I mean, it is what it is. You know, but yeah, listen, Arteta loves him. And listen, we have to give credit where credit is due. He's been one of our best players. The thing with if I could just give Thomas Partey Xhaka injury record, we have one of the best players. You know, if we could just give him Xhaka injury, because this guy's never injured. He plays every 3 days and he does not get injured. You know, we have to give credit where credit is due, man. He's been one of our best players, most important player. I don't think we will see any of those players leave Arsenal every time soon. Even Thomas Partey, I can see him being here for another couple of years. We just were saying hypothetically, I don't see anybody coming in for him with that kind of money. But it's just to build. You have to start building a team around him because, like I say, he is 33. Like my guy said, you ain't gonna be here forever. So eventually we're gonna have to replace. We can't look what's happening to Liverpool. After a while, your squad gets stale. You know, it just happens to the best of them. One thing that Pep Guardiola do at Manchester City, and people don't give him a lot of credit for, is get rid of those players, rotating those players, getting more players in. People don't see that. You see Klopp keep those players and run them into the ground. Now you see the effect of that. You see it with teams all the time. So as much as we love these players, man, you at some point you have to sell them while the price is high and replace them with other players. It's just what it is. I'm sure if you ask Liverpool fans right now, would they have sell Firmino 2 years ago for $60 million? They would have said yes. You know, they would have said yes because that's the thing. You're not going to get that for him now. He's probably going to walk away for free next year or something like that. It's just what happened with these players. After a while, you just have to keep rotating these players, bring better players in, and trust me, it's not only one player that's on the earth that can do what Thomas Partey do. I can go through a list and you can bring some players in, maybe not as good as him, but players are out there that can do a job. For $100 million, I can find you a couple. Trust me.
Tony, do you want to say something before I go into the live chat?
No, I'm good.
Ashidi's in the house. It says, "Hey up, Gooners. Welcome to Channel 4 TV. Easy Talk with Alex and the Crazy Gang." Tony's actually just saying hello. John the Geezer Gooner says, "Evening, Gooners." The First Lady says, "Evening, Channel 4 TV crew." Static says, "Good evening, Gunners. Hey, Alex and the panel." And John says, "Saliba, not quite Van Dijk, but he could be in the same league if he keeps progress up." And Colin, good evening, Colin, says Van Dijk has stayed 3 seasons minimum at the top level. Saliba is 9 games in. So, yeah, slow. Yeah, he needs time. Got Gary, DWTT, says, "Afternoon, Alex, panel, and the chat room." Arnie, one of our members, says, "Good evening, everyone. I hope we are all well." Saliba is only a young man and impressive already, but do not like comparisons. But yeah, if ends up as good and still playing for us, then results. Completely agree, Tony. Completely agree. Keep Thomas Partey, the 33-year-old. Anyway, because Partey, Jesus, and Xhaka are most important players in the squad. So far, we haven't shown that we have a replacement for them. Maybe Zinchenko for Xhaka, maybe, but we haven't seen it just yet. And maybe one more before we go back into the topics. Partey unsellable. Think Tony C has been drinking some of Mube's Hennessy. Oh, dearie me. I wanted to just talk very quickly about this player here, Reece Nelson. Now, I did exchange some tweets between Mube and myself. I do rate Reece Nelson. I just think he's been the victim of some injuries. He's been loaned out a few times. I think if we were to give him constant opportunities, I think he could be the player that we've always hoped him to be. Mube, Reece Nelson.
He's getting a lot of slack from Arsenal fans this morning after the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Listen, man, the guy has been out for 3 months. This is his first game back. Like give him a break. I understand. I see someone say that he has played 50 games for Arsenal. Like he probably came on for 15 minutes out of 40 of those. Like he hasn't really has an opportunity with a good time in the squad to really make his mark. So when he did, when Arteta first came in and gave him that role on that right hand side of midfield, he did good. He played like 3 games in a row. I remember him scoring at the Emirates against Liverpool. When him and Lacazette was playing, Lacazette scored in that. Lacazette used to score a goal, but anyway, him and Lacazette scored against Liverpool, and he was playing well during that time. And then he got injured again. That's the issue with him. Every time he get a run, he get injured. He went to Feyenoord. He went over there. He didn't have a good first half of the season, and then he got injured. He went to Germany. It was the same thing. And we see in. It's kind of a thing with these young players now. Same thing happening with Smith Rowe now. He can't really get a running game together to really get into the groove. I still think there's a player there, but with the players that we have now and the wingers that we have, how long can we wait on them? How much opportunity will he get? I think now is his time, because now that we're playing the Europa League, Smith Rowe is out. Martinelli and Xhaka do need a rest from time to time. This is his chance, and if he doesn't take it, I can see him, leaving again, another player leaving for free. That's exactly what's going to happen. This is the same issue that I keep coming back to. We don't sell players when we need to, and then you end up losing them for free. That's why our net spend is kind of shot right now. It got nothing to do with the manager. It's just as a club, we have made some mistakes over the past few years. But we'll see, though. I hope he can take his chance. Hopefully he can get some more games in the Europa League. We have 3 games left, so hopefully he can take his chance. And you never know. We do need wingers. We do need players on the outside to help. We only have Marquinhos really as a option out there. Nketiah can play out there. Justice can play out there. But as far as off the bench, I think this is his opportunity. He has to grab it, because Smith Rowe's out until after the World Cup, so he has to grab it right now.
Yeah, Brother Isaac, Reece Nelson, last chance.
Yeah, he's young, he's had his injury problems, and I know people are giving him a lot of stick, because we know how football can be. Today you're a hero, tomorrow you're a villain. So we've got to give him time, let him settle in, let him develop, because he's not had his luck yet. And he could be a great prospect, because at one point he was hyped, or he was viewed as more important, or he could have been a great player than Bukayo Saka when they were in the academy, but you can all see where they are now.
I think we've lost Isaac. Yes, we have. Tony, Reece Nelson.
We
London
can
lad,
all see.
Yeah, Tony, you can go.
Okay.
He's got some
so yeah,
yeah,
Reece Nelson, local. I know some people close to him. The thing is, I keep an eye on our youngsters. I like to watch when I get an opportunity to see their loan spells. So, I watched some of our track Frankfurt last year, Europa League final, which he played in. So I've been able to good that he can do. This, as I think, is a very important time for him, because to me, this is his last season at Arsenal. If he's game and perform at the level required to be able to challenge a Martinelli flanks or a Smith Rowe, then I feel like, with the names of Cody Gakpo, etc., I feel like next season we Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the reason why I actually highlighted this player is because I know I think it was either on Twitter or in a WhatsApp group, we were talking about Nico Pepe, Tony, and I tend to believe that his career at Arsenal is over. £72 million. I think he's been given countless times to prove himself, and he's fallen flat. Where is he at Nice? He got dropped at Nice as well, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I like, anyone who I'm a guy that gives a guy a lot of slack formed at the highest level.
I remember you said though. I remember you said Pepe was unsellable too. Don't forget. I ain't forgot that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I literally was Pepe because when he was on form, to me in the team, doing what he does, and I'll tell you why. As good as Bukayo, he still hasn't got a goal return as high as Pepe. In a single season, Pepe's stats in his best season than Bukayo's in his best season, which was obviously last year. Now, I understand Bukayo's stats went from here way up here. He scored way more assists. Yeah, he deserves to be. However, I do feel that the way Arsenal treated him was unjust because there's clearly a player there. He is capable of doing stuff. Don't forget, not many players can score goals from corners, and was capable, and he's capable of doing. A penalty specialist. I think what's happened to him in the last year, yeah, and there seems to be some residual like effect in what's going on now that he's gone back at Nice and something is happening. I cannot wait to see Pepe rekindle his love of this game and for him to start to perform. I mean, World Cup action coming up. His team qualified. To see Pepe find form and come back to Arsenal next season, a plethora of goals and a plethora of assists, and for us to say, hey, we've got, because this is my thing. Saliba went away for 2 years. Kid perform at a high level against all the teams in France, and I know a lot of those teams decent standing. But when he was playing Paris Saint-Germain, when he was playing, performing at a high level, and I was able to say, when he comes back, we've got, and clearly, Nicola Pepe is also one of those type players. If he can do and come back, I hope we could take up, give him a cuddle and say, you're wrong, but please come back and do something for us. I think he can. If he doesn't, look, it is a recess. Pepe was ruined by Arsenal politicians. I really do believe, because as I said, yeah, name me another player on Arsenal's team who's got goal stats and goal assists at the level of this season.
Mube, you want to say something before I go back to Isaac about the
Pepe being a good player has never been a question. We all know that. Pepe being inconsistent is one of the reasons why Pepe has been dropped and shipped out of Arsenal. He shows up one game and then he doesn't show up for 4. I was happy when we signed him. I liked the player. I love when he got to Arsenal, but he just doesn't do it on a consistent basis. Yeah, you can point to those stats and stuff that he does in that one season. Most of those goals were in the Europa League. When it matters the most, he just doesn't show up. For a player that's $72 million, I don't need you to bag 10 goals in the Europa League. I need you to be rested in the
fault, not
Europa
his
League.
fault that not his
It's not
fault
his
that
fault, but
he
wasn't performing in the league.
Yeah, but hang on. You know that 72 million was a robbery.
Yeah.
Because that the club Mislintat or whatever his name was, one of them cats pocketed out of that deal. So that wasn't a 72 million deal. This is a 25 million pound player in a load of money.
Yeah, that's okay. Understandable, but that's the damage is 72 million, whatever happened. But whatever is 72 or he's 2 million, you can't be as inconsistent as he was. You got rubbed out the team by a 19-year-old Bukayo Saka. Saka was just better. And people was trying to find different places for Pepe to put him. Yes, he had a good goal return that season that he had. It was very good. A lot of those goals were in the Europa League. A lot of them. When he plays in the Premier League, it's a different story. And he played good one game, and then we don't see him show up for another 3 or 4. It was the story of his time here. Did I like Pepe? Yes, I did, and I hope he does good. Like Alex said, I don't see him coming back. You mentioned the loan with Saliba. Saliba went on loan when we first got him and came back. He's still a young player. Pepe was here for 3 seasons and then went on loan. When you come back, you have 1 season left. You telling me to keep? That's the same thing I just said a while ago. Our problem with selling players and getting a return for them. You want us to keep him for another season, then he just walks out the door for free again. We're never going to go forward as a club if we keep doing this. That's my problem with people when you have a favorite player. Alex know me. Ozil was one of my favorite. I used to be on the show all the time with the Ozil banners and all that. But I made a mistake. We should have sold him when we had the chance to, because he walked out the door for nothing. As a club, if we keep doing this with players, we're never going to go forward. It's clear that he's not in Mikel Arteta plan. Yeah. When he comes back, he has 1 season left. We probably get, 15 million for him, tops 20 probably, if he has a good season in France. But we're not getting more than that. If we keep him for another season, keep him on the bench, keep him playing second fiddle to Bukayo Saka, he's just going to walk away for free. There's no way we can do that again. We have to stop this as a club. I do like Pepe, but I think his time here is up. That's just, unfortunately, it is.
Isaac, where do you stand with Nicolas Pepe? I just don't think he has a career at Arsenal, to be honest.
I believe his time is up, but because last summer we were looking at bringing in a left-footed winger. If we are bringing in a left-footed winger, and then what is Pepe here for? So I don't think he's in Arteta's plan, because he's been inconsistent. Yes, I agree. He's not turned up in games, in most important games. Yes, and we need players who will turn up in important games. When games are hard, we need players who can turn up and win as the games. And given that he is just got a little time left, or when he comes back, he'll have just 1 season left for him. I don't think we will keep him. When I was watching a documentary sometimes back, I say, why is Edu so bad at selling players? I was watching. I was looking at the list, all the players that have left since Edu came in. Most of the players, it has been a mutual agreement to terminate their contracts, because he can sell. And the reason as to why he cannot sell is, some of the reasons are like unhappy, than healthy for the dressing room. No, you will have to terminate his contract so that he works. So I don't think he has a place at Arsenal, as I can see. But let's see how it pans out. But I can't see if he fits in this Arteta's team as at now.
Yeah.
I mean, can I
Oh,
just put it, because I just want you to do a comparison. People are all in and saying, let's see if Reece Nelson can be this Arsenal team. Yeah. Yeah. In the same time that Arsenal. Yeah. Don't forget, age-wise, Reece Nelson and Pepe age. Yeah. And Pepe, yeah, at Arsenal has scored 16 Premier League goals. Reece Nelson has scored. Reece Nelson last year played 21 games for 5, scored 2 goals. 2 league goals in 21 games. Pep has played 7 games and has scored 2 goals. On Reece Nelson, come on, Reece, we know you can do it. We've seen what you can do. But you're turning aside a player who scored 35 league in his prior years, in 2 seasons. Yeah? Leo. 35 goals. And I think the assist rate was ridiculous. Yeah? And you're ready to cast that. Now, I understand the situation you're saying about, and the attitude thing, I understand. But I believe there's sometimes the attitude thing, yeah, is caused by you. Because let's be honest, if we're talking about attitude, and I see it in the chat, people are the same thing. Yeah? Now, are you telling me that Mbappe is a bad player? Because I tell you what, something has gone awry. This week to refuse Real Madrid to stay at Paris Saint-Germain. Ask yourself a question. How does the player refuse where he's going to get $500,000 a year, $500,000 a week? Yeah? And he says, all right, Paris Saint-Germain, you want to match it? Fine. I'll tell you what. Here's my terms and conditions. 3 months later, no, I'm done with you lot. I'm out the door. Something has gone wrong behind closed doors. I believe that whatever has happened at Arsenal is of a similar ilk, because it breaks down to when you make a player unhappy, and this is where, you know, you look at Arsenal in the last setup. Yeah, it's not like Pepe's the only player who's found difficulty finding his home. But don't forget, Pepe scored 12 league goals in 2 seasons and won the FA Cup as part of that team. I understand what you're saying, Mobe, about, but he only scores in hang on a second, 10 goals in your second Premier League season coming from that's impressive, bro. And that's why I love Pepe. I was his biggest fan, because when I saw that guy dribbling past players, and I interviewed Aubameyang and Lacazette sat down with Ian Wright, and they said at the club there's nobody else as talented Pepe. Now I agree. Saka, great player. I want at the mercy of Pepe. But let's not forget, Pepe was a good player, a fantastic player at Arsenal. If he had the odd game off, I wasn't going to tell you now. Saka in last season should have scored. If you look at chances created, his finishing has been woeful. Or 10 or 12 goals last season. Pepe would have scored you more goals because he was a more clinical finisher.
But Tony, this under this regime with Mikel Arteta, he just doesn't have the time or the patience to deal with players who have actually problems. Guendouzi, you saw what happened to Guendouzi, shown the door. And when I see Pepe play, he's just too inconsistent. When you need your record sign to turn up, because there's a reason why you pay so much money for a particular player, he's got to perform in the big games.
Not to be a backup player. That's the issue. You can't have a player on 150 million, whatever he's getting paid a year. You pay that money for him to sit behind the 19-year-old Bukayo Saka. It's just not feasible. You can't.
But hang on, Mobe. Last season, was you happy when Lacazette came in for? If I'm not mistaken, a player on £180,000 a week was seek out because Aubameyang was playing. Then when Aubameyang peed off the club, they put Lacazette on. And how many goals did he score? 3.
You must not know. No, not me. You must not know who you're talking to. No. Hey, you said me. Let's correct that. Let's correct that right now.
Operated.
That's why I said we have to change it. We have to change it.
Player sitting on a bench, and he come on 3 goals in the season. 3.
Well, why continue? That's what I'm saying. As a club, we have to change. I'm not disputing what you're saying. That's the thing. You can't say one thing about Lacazette, but then say the similar thing for Nicolas Pepe. Both of them didn't perform. Lacazette had to go. I was on the show every single week telling Alex he was a babysitter because they keep bigging him up. Oh, he get this assist. He make the kids play around him better. He was winning games in a row. Lacazette had to go. That's just me. He doesn't do what we needed him to do. You can't say that Lacazette, but then turn around and say one thing for Pepe. We cannot have him as a backup player. He was down here to be one of the key players in this club. We don't have space for him. We don't. You move on, and he's not comparable. I'm not comparing him with Reece Nelson. Is he better than Reece Nelson? That's not what you pay to £75 million for a player to compare him to Reece Nelson. I'm comparing him to Bukayo Saka. Can he be in the first team? I don't want a player like him sitting on the bench. That's what I'm saying. We have to change as a club. You just said it. We cannot keep these players and not sell them when we can sell them. Because if he come back and stay, he's going to go away for free. Is that okay with you?
Hang on a second. Let me tell you about what you just said. You said you can't have a player sitting on the bench. Well, let me tell you about Manchester City. Probably the best now. If you look at their bench, because that's a team billion on defenders, and if you look at their bench, they're 500 million on their bench, So when you want to say, "Oh, he's too expensive to sit on a bench," I'm sorry, but if you want to be competing at the top of the world now, Barcelona's, Paris Saint-Germain's, Man City's, Newcastle United's, £100 million players sitting on your bench. That's the market now. This football game is about. You can't.
Not one that's not performing. Not one that's not performing. Not one that's not performing. Manchester City got Ryan Mahrez on the bench for that right wing. They have Bernardo Silva on the bench for that right wing. I heard Manchester City players. Hold on. I heard Manchester City players said the other day. I watched an interview with Kyle Walker. You know who he said was Manchester City most talented player was in the whole squad? The most talented player. Zinchenko. How much games did he play for them? Talent is not everything. How much games did Zinchenko play for Manchester City? You see what I'm saying?
Let me counter that. Can I tell you the difference between what man? Arsenal play Bukayo Saka for 89 play with 1 minute left in the game. Pep Guardiola, Foden, and Mahrez every game. They don't play too control. So guess what happens? You don't get a favoritism. You don't get burnout because I use my squad effectively. That Arteta failed to do with his players. Aubameyang every game. instead of saying, actually, take a see what Lacazette can do for 80 minutes or 70 minutes or 60 minutes. I bring you in.
Lacazette and Aubameyang last season, when we first started the season, they started all the games together. Just so you know, was playing with those front two for a long time. They started a lot of games together. They wasn't scoring. Aubameyang, it wasn't working for him. Lacazette, it wasn't working for him. You said Pep play this and play that. Listen, Foden, Haaland, and Silva been starting all the games in the Premier League this season. We haven't seen Morris play yet. People try to bash Arteta for doing one thing. You can't be chopping and changing. We asked for one thing as fans. One thing I always say, this is me here, and I'm consistent with it. I want to know our first 8 or 9 players in the first team every game. That's just me, and it's not nothing to do with favoritism. It's something to do with continuation and form. You're building something. We're a team that's new with young players. Now, if you keep chopping and changing the starting 11, just like you see what we saw in midweek, we changed 11, we changed 8 players. And people say, oh, this and that. That's what happened when you change a team in and out every week. I'm not saying Pepe is a bad player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people just want you to bench Bukayo Saka because Pepe had a wonderful season. The second season, he was not performing last year when he got his chances. He's inconsistent. He's not performing when he got his chances. And if you ask me, will I have him come back to the club with 1 year? This is what you're saying now. 1 year left on his contract and let him play and then leave for free the next summer. I'm not having that. As a club, we cannot sustain that kind of, we're just losing money. We're never going to be at Manchester City level because that's what they do. They sell players. We just bought Jesus from him for 50 million. They went inside Allen for 55. That's what you do as a club. We are not a well-run club, but we have to start selling players, reinvesting that money in better players. That's what I'm saying. That's it.
Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I just want to let the thing about levels here, because you know we slate Pepe's in Reece Nelson, and it's like, well, hang on a second. If I have a choice, I know which one of them. 2 million. He's just a better player. Simple. If you said to me, give me Cody Nelson and Pepe, give me that player. Yeah? But, if you said to me, can you hurry and get rid of Eddie Nketiah, I'm taking Vlahovic all day. Levels, my brother. Levels.
Yeah, but Tone, like Mube is saying, we've got a player who's a record signing, who's been inconsistent, and compound on top of that, he has an attitude. For whatever reason it is, I don't know why it is, but Mikel Arteta does not have time to try and, I don't know, cuddle a player. He wants players who are going to be performing consistently. And unfortunately, our record signing, and even if it was for £25 million, I still wouldn't be happy. He's too inconsistent. And that's just the bottom line. And I find myself agreeing with Mube Guna. I'm not sure why.
Hang on a second. I'm going to show you how inconsistent your opinion is. Granit Xhaka has been useless for this club. This is the first year. This is the first Xhaka has shown himself to be a good footballer at Arsenal. And it's like, oh, Granit Xhaka, he's our leader. He's the best thing since sliced bread. Waited 10 years for this mother to hit this kind of form. What happened in the center? He was playing trash. So if you're going to give Pep him out the door, then surely you should be saying the same about Xhaka, because it's only to know that this guy
everybody say that. You beat the dead horse here. Nobody said Xhaka should have been here. Everybody say that. Arteta wanted him. The problem is Arteta wanted Xhaka. Arteta don't want Pepe. That's the difference. So it is what it is.
Isaac, you would say something quicker before we go on to the final topic.
Alex. I want to get some energy myself so that I can have the energy they're having. So no player sets a price tag for themselves. It is a club that sets that. So it is not Pepe's fault that he was bought for 72 million, but we can all see how that has been. He's been intense. He's not been performing when we need him. A good player is a player who is consistent and who can prove or who can help the team when it's called up. The likes of Man City have a great bench. Do they perform when called upon? Yes, they do. So if we not take this conversation and copy paste to Man City, Man City are different animal at this point. Although people saying we are second best, we are the ones who challenge them for the league. Nah. So we've got to improve on our business. We've got to improve on how we are selling. Selling is the problem. Let's get our players who know getting better players who can be relied upon, who can be who have the team spirit. These are not. I've heard Tony say that Xhaka is the best. That is what we're saying this season. The role has changed. That is what has made to his performance this season, because he shifted from a deeper role to what he's been playing Switzerland. We were all saying that Pepe, Xhaka was good playing Switzerland rather than Arsenal, because he was playing in a different role at Arsenal. So he replicated at Arsenal and he's doing better. I've come to think all the Arsenal players using Xhaka, and we were wondering why. Why is each and every manager, using Xhaka right from Wenger, and then we had this guy who went to Villarreal, and then we have
Emery.
MIKEL. They are all using him. Emery, and we do not really know why, but I was watching the All or Nothing as in a documentary, is because of his personality. That is why all the managers are using him. His personality is top notch. He is a good individual. He has a great connection with all the other players. How we relate with all the other players. You want someone whose relation with other players is a healthy relationship. You will not want to keep someone in the team who does not have a healthy relationship with others. Right, going through the charts that were popping up, I read someone saying that despite how good Mbappe is, he'll not want Mbappe in his team because of his attitude. So if you have a good relationship, if you twine well with all the other players, believe me, all the managers will like you, because you know how to relate with all the other players without causing problems.
Okay, listen, we're getting to the last topic. We've like kind of gone over the time. And like I said, I just find myself agreeing with Mube Guna for the last 20 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to drink some Hennessy, man. Anyway, the last topic of the evening. There's some business about us being back in the Premier League against some Leeds United. Where do you see this one going, Mube?
Yeah, I hope it goes the way we hope it. I hope we win. I hope we continue to play Hope Granite Jacket continue to be great. you know, our best player of the season so far. I hope. Let's go, man. It's gonna be a tough game. It's a away game in the Premier League. Can't take no game for granted, man. They already beat Chelsea. I know they only won 2 games, but going away to any Premier League ground, it's always difficult. I think long as we don't make up mistakes, and that's what people sometimes don't give us credit for. A lot of these games that we lost away from home, even at home, drop points to some team. Even last season, I remember one point we was getting a whole bunch of red cards, and I don't want to bring that back in, but a lot of times we're playing with 10 players. Last season away to Wolves, we played with 10 players. We do this a lot. When we have 11 players on the pitch, we actually play good football and we actually win a lot of games. So hopefully, just no mistakes. Status quo, like they say. Go up there and hopefully we get the. Like I said, we don't need chop and changing or starting 11. He's been doing well. It's been 10 games. We won 9 of them. This 11 has been playing good. We don't need to rest Bukayo Saka in the Premier League and bring on Pepe just because of what he did 2 years ago. But that's the thing. We just have to keep it right. And I think we'll get the win though. But like I said, no mistake.
Yeah. And for you, Tony, the game on Sunday, Leeds United.
Yeah, I mean, 12 wins out of 13 games to start the season. Really setting the world on fire this season. They obviously have got. He makes a difference to their team. Hoping that Gabriel K, I think he, was carrying a little bit of a knock, which is why he didn't travel. But obviously, he's instrumental to our play. We've got this month. And get to November just prior to the World Cup and get there, get those guys a rest during the World Cup. I would the most displeased if Brazil don't decide to pick Gabriel Jesus. That's me just being petty and so for me it's gonna be another win. I just don't see our formation and the style of football in which we play. A win somehow. All
right. And finally, brother Isaac, game Sunday, Leeds United.
Yeah, is a very important game for us to win. I can say we are all laughing because of what Ashley Day is saying. So it's very, very important that we win that game. If it is all about stats, stretching up to 20 games up to last season, I haven't seen where we have drawn a game. We either win or lose. And coming to this season, about if we are all on stats, into this season we haven't lost a game where we have gone as favorites. The only game we've lost this season is Man United game, and we were not favorites. Man United were favorites for that game to win. We lost that game. Away we have only conceded 3 goals. We've kept 3 clean sheets away in the league, and we've scored in each and every game we've played away. So it is my desire that we win today. We win this game. However, we should be very, very careful because Leeds have not lost a game at home. They have won twice and drawn twice at home. So that is a very, very tricky game for us. I cannot say that we are going to swipe them away 3 or 4 goal thriller. This is a very tight game. We might end winning 1 or 2-0 for this game because it is a very, very tight game. They play very good football and I remember sometimes back, Pep himself said that there are only 3 teams in this league, apart from Man City, that do not fear to play the ball, which included Leeds, Brentford, and Arsenal. Fear to play the ball. They will play the ball, they will press you, and they will not park the bus. they will attack
Mikel
you.
Arteta Arsenal. Said it right. Mikel Arteta Arsenal. Make sure you say that. Arteta's FC.
Yeah, Arteta's us now. We do not fear playing the ball. We play the ball, and let's all appreciate or all agree that Gabriel Jesus is a very phenomenal or a very integral part in this team. Because I was looking at the game yesterday and I was like, really? Because I like the way he presses. He presses. He is one of the best. His work rate is top notch. He presses every center back. He will not give you an opportunity. I did not enjoy watching the game yesterday because we did not press as he is pressing. So I hope he's well. I hope he's gonna play, because if he's playing and Partey is playing, I'm sure we are winning that game.
Yeah. Do you know what, guys? We've come to an end on this quite interesting Easy Talk on this Friday evening over here. But before I end up this one, Tony, I want to say thank you for finally coming on Canon 42. But it's the first time, and let's make sure that it's not the last time we see you back on Canon 42 TV. Thank you so very much, Tony, for your time and your presence on the channel. Thank you.
Appreciate it, my brother, and thank you, Mobe. As I expected, a very entertaining.
Thank you. Brother Isaac, again, it's always a pleasure to have you. You're always welcome on the channel, whenever you're free. But I know life gets in the way, doesn't it? Family, work, and all the other bits and pieces under the sun. But thank you, Brother Isaac, for coming back on Canon 40 TV.
My pleasure to be on, and it has been really enjoying. Has been a great conversation. Tony and Mube has been. Next time I'll get my Hennessy because you notch.
Mube, finish it off, man.
Come on, G. You know what time it is when we show up, It is what it is. I tell you, Alex, do this kind of stuff, Appreciate my guys, man. Nice to meet y'all, as usual. And the chats, the people the chat's been funny, too. We haven't said much about it, but I've been reading the chats. And Colin, of course, Colin is over there. He's an Arteta hater. But we just go sign off, what we say. Arteta FC, we're top of the league, top of the Europa League. Trust the process. We're making progress. Let's go.
Yeah. Right, so fantastic. So,
Brought to you.
These guys. The next time you will see me on Canon 40 TV will be on Monday. No, nothing during the week, actual weekend, unless my brother does a watch long. But you have to make sure you sign for that. And also on Sunday will be the big Sunday show with Paul in the North Bank with the other actually panelists as well. I think that's a 6:30 or 7:30 kickoff. But thank you guys for a quite interesting, entertaining Easy Talk. And guys, this has been Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.